Alright, this should be going. Yeah, so, to explain a number of things. First thing I should say, well, two things. Back in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and don't want to forget to mention, the key was provided for this. Alright, so I reviewed the game a while ago, and at the time I was having some weird performance issues to do with the GPU, so, and also I had pre-release access to the game, so performance may not have been great for a number of reasons, so I didn't do a performance analysis then. But I do want to do it, and I'm going to, though I'm technically doing this video first of that stuff. I'm trying to schedule my time for doing a lot of things right now, but anyway, we are back in Shadow of the Tomb Raider for my quality analysis thing, so I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently. So right now it is at, what you're seeing there, those are the high preset, that's what the high preset conforms to, except I have motion blur turned off. That's purely a personal choice for me. I want to be able to go through and not have to worry about it degrading any of what I'm seeing. Alright, so I've done these minimum quality videos before, these minimum quality analysis before, which, just in case, I go through every option, and I just see, okay, at what point is the option too low for a setting that it visually is detracting. I've been doing this with several. I'm going to add a component to this, though, that, well, it's written, I don't think it's live yet. When I thought of doing the minimum acceptable, I also thought of doing a maximum acceptable, that initially I was thinking tying that to also looking at performance, but I think instead I'm gonna do it a little differently to save me a lot of time, because I need time for many other things. Anyway, so gonna be grabbing minimum acceptable. So, and I start at the high preset, or if I need to generate a high preset myself, I do that and I report what that is. And I just step down until it looks too bad, but I use high as the base, the base mark, the standard. So yeah. Maximum, same kind of idea, except it's, okay, at what point is, like, I don't see the difference. I don't know why you'd bother going so high. Now, of course, I am playing at 2048 by 1152, a little bit better than 1080. Completely possible that at 1440, at 4K, that, nope, those options have an impact. I can't do anything about that. I have no ability to properly see those, so you'll have to put up with mine being at a little bit better than 1080. Okay. By the way, all these options can be changed without restarting, which, that is not true of all games. There's another game I want to do this with, that a number of the options you do have to restart. One that shouldn't make any difference to the quality is the DirectX. With DirectX 11, I need that because I know I can capture it. DirectX 12, you change that, it has to restart. Okay, one option I'm not going to go through right now, because this is one of those other things I'm trying to schedule time to do. I've already gone through anti-aliasing in this game. That's a completely separate article. Hopefully, I will have that done and out in time that you'll be able to see all that stuff. But just in case, I'll just tell you some of the stuff I found here for how it pertains here. Without anti-aliasing at all, none of these options, not SMAA-TA, SMAA-T2X, or SMAA-4X, with none of those, there is a lot of aliasing in the game. But each one of those also softens details. So I will tell you right now that the minimum acceptable is none or SMAA. None because, like I said, any of those options soften details, so none technically gives you a better image quality on that. But there is a lot of aliasing, and all of the settings do a pretty good job of getting rid of most of that. Some do better, like there are some cases where TA does better than SMAA. There were also one or two times that it looked like SMAA may have been doing a better job. SMAA T2X generally did a better job than both SMAA and TAA, which is why, and I figure that's a reasonable high, so that's what I'm going with. SMAA 4X, as it says there, also uses multi-sampling. So it takes a large performance hit. that would definitely be, like, SMA T2X, I would say, is maximum acceptable. There's no point to going to 4X unless you really just want to push it. That is how I played it. It was playable. When I reviewed it, I had it at 4X. And I know I was hitting that performance a lot harder than I really needed to, but I try to review at the highest settings. That's not what this idea is here, though. But yeah, so minimum would be none or SMA, depending on if you want the detail or if you want the aliasing. And hey, it's not like it softens it horribly. It really isn't that bad, but it is there and you can tell if you go back and forth. So yeah, SMA T2X though is better than TA in general, so that's why it would be the maximum acceptable. So I'm not touching anti-aliasing. I've done that in something else that hopefully will be out in time. Alright. So with that, well here, you know what? Because it's easy enough to do. I will just quickly, so you know, and hopefully it is caught in the video. It depends on how it's impacted. I would say, if you look up on, hang on, I have it set to not capture the cursor. Let's see if I can. I don't know if it's actually catching it. Anyway, the two guards that are hunting for her in the upper right, there's a lot of aliasing because of the netting over their heads is on the guns. You can also see some of it down on the guy on the ground. There's some on her arm. The plants have a lot of speckling there, but I don't know why I was thinking I was on the menu. But if you go to any of these options, I'm just including 4X. SMA 4X can also have this issue. It's like that aliasing is gone, but there is some of the details are a lot softer. Like, I'm pretty sure her knife actually has a serrated edge in one spot, and because it kind of looks like it's there with none when I examined screenshots before, not there with any of the options. Also, the plants are softer. Yeah. That's just how it goes. Sorry. That's... Anyway. Let's move on. So, at high, and I'll just be going down the list, which I think the first one is texture quality. Yeah. Yeah, and high is at high. Alright. I'm trying to remember. I think Shadow of the Tomb Raider was the first game. It was first or second that I started my database with for all the settings and options in the games, what I review at, even though in general it's just the highest settings. But also prepared for collecting more data like this, the minimum acceptable. Which, just also a quick reminder, this is just visually. So I do also want to do performance analysis where I'll be grabbing various graphics cards and going through them in a different system, actually, because it will make my life so much easier than taking down my main computer. I have a second computer for testing, yay. It is possible, because I have a GTX 770, that is not going to be powerful enough to handle some games, even at the minimum acceptable, but we'll just have to see. Where am I? Okay, I remember where I am. It has been a while since I've played, by the way. No. I mean, obviously some of the stuff I'm going to remember. But I probably should have actually come in and done this stuff. I don't have the Toby tracker turned on, by the way. I did hit Q. Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, and this is actually one of the things. Here, I can... This I will show. This is actually something in that other article, but I'll talk about it here as well. So, if you... This is probably the strongest example of how some detail gets softened. I mean, you can even tell right here. If you look in the background, there is so much detail here, so much like specular detail there. well, I assume it's specular. It's specs. And over here as well. It is just there, and I'm really hoping you're seeing the cursor over to the right side of the screen, right middle. There's a lot of detail there, and any of the anti-aliasing options. Oh wait, no, that's right. SMAA actually doesn't do a bad job of keeping it, but TAA, and up, TAA, SMAA, T2X, and SMAA 4X all remove a lot of that detail. And that's just how it is. So in some cases, yeah, SMAA can seem better, but TA and SMAA T2X and SMAA 4X do a better job of addressing some other aliasing. So it really is a SMAA or none would be the minimums, depending on what you're looking for. Yeah. Isn't there crouch? Or is it just the crap, what is it called? I can't think of it. And I'm also taking so long to read anything. Okay, roll. I was thinking of something else. No, I guess it is right that you don't actually necessarily crouch. It's been a while. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to do this stuff here. It's not bright enough. I'm gonna head back. Okay. I'm also trying to remember somewhere I am. Yeah, I just want to be somewhere a bit brighter, and I think... I mean, definitely the hidden city. There are spots of that are nice and bright. Just need to get there. I haven't even launched the game really for a while as well. So that's why that was coming up. I really should come back and do those at some point. Alright. It was weird. It was also slow to load the game. Launch the game, so... Yeah, let me try this. Alright. I don't know why some things are seeming slower than I think they should. Anyway. Yeah, this actually might work well right here. So let's look at these textures, starting, yeah, at low. That's... Oh, okay. The ground does look pretty bad. But the world itself actually is pretty fair. I want to see how the next one up looks. Give it some time to, yeah, reload the textures. Man, I like it when the engine is able to just do this for you. Okay, that looks pretty good there. So does the ground. Okay. Alright, so this is a low, would be minimum acceptable, but definitely go to normal if you can. Like, normal's where I'd recommend you trying to be at minimum, if you can. But low, technically, it doesn't look too bad, except for the ground. Alright, normal if you can. Low, textures in city, okay, except for ground, normal, looks perfectly acceptable, at 1152, my resolution, basically. Alright, now I'm not done yet, because I still want to figure out about the maximum acceptable. So it's got to reload the textures. So I will be going all the way up to Ultra, which shouldn't be a problem. My Vega 64 does, after all, have 8 gig of RAM, and I actually do run with HBCC off, even though the high bandwidth cache controller, which in theory allows it to offload some assets it feels are not so needed to the system memory. I want to go back down to normal for a moment. Alright. And I'm hands off right now. Like, my hands are in the air. So I know I'm not moving. They might be a little softer, but that could be placebo. I'm very much not seeing it. Alright, so can do this, since I do know that SMA does, well, that all the options do soften some. Right. What am I at? I'm at normal. Right. Okay, now, okay. You know, I see it popping in. I do see there is more detail. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Alright. I want to turn the anti-aliasing back on, though. Alright. I mean, some detail it does take looking at screenshots to catch the aliasing impact, the anti-aliasing impact. Okay, let's see how Ultra is. And this is going to be hands up again. So I can pay very specific attention. I saw no change. Which is not surprising. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. High is max. Oh. Wrong row. I was typing notes into what the decision is. High is the max for 52. Just would be, 1080 as well. Ultra is not immediately noticeable in city. Perhaps at 1440/2160, which is 4K. Alright, I will be going to other areas as well, don't worry. Alright, so that's back to high. Okay. So trilinear is the lowest. This actually might not be the easiest to spot, because what that filtering is, trilinear and the anisotropic, are, well, actually right here, maybe. No, actually, hang on, let me also... I just want to check one thing. It is possible there's a little bit more involved with the textures. Okay, no, that's not the case. Good. That makes it so much easier. I was wondering if it might also impact depth of field a little. Okay, so make sure that the textures are back. In some cases, I could see a game, even though it's the texture quality setting, where it would actually push the depth of field back so you see the textures more. But then that's also something that can happen by virtue of a higher resolution display as well. Just as there's more samples in any given area. Okay, I'm mainly looking back closer to the hut, but there's also an area a little bit closer that's in the light that might be a better spot to look. But I'll look there a second. I'm not noticing it immediately, so I'm just gonna jump up to 16x. Which actually, see, this is one other nice thing about this game, is that, yep, you can actually see the changes in the background. So I did look like I saw a drop, like some detail disappeared when I went down to trilinear. Yeah, I am seeing something there, but I don't immediately see it come back. That's why I'm actually coming out of the menu to let it definitely be rendered anew. Alright, but that's going out in trilinear, which is okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need a different location probably to really notice it, because this detail is noisy enough that it may not stand out anyway. It's like when I was in Hitman 2 and Just Cause 4, there were like roads, you know, flat areas that were just even and smooth. So that, and well-defined patterns on that, very easy to notice the difference. If the ground is always this noisy in this game, though, and I think it is, it's meant to be a natural ground, then that is going to make it harder to see the difference. That it needs. Okay, this may be a good spot. If you look to the right of center, between the two walls, that might actually be a very good spot right there for the anisotropic filtering to have an impact. But like I said, unfortunately it is not apparent. I'm gonna move that around some. Yeah, I can see some there. I'm also gonna look at the bridge. And this might be really low. And I will check in other areas as well. Don't worry about that. Huh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to 2x actually. Well, here, let me. No, let me look at trilinear. Alright, I mean, it's definitely soft back there, so let me. Okay, that might be the case here. Alright. Look at how the detail appears as I approach. Oh yeah, 4x, that is definitely a much smoother transition, having the detail. And that's not necessarily that it's the textures are now being more detailed. It may be the same texture that's there. It is this filtering, though, that can be having that impact. As it happens, that other article that I did all the anti-aliasing work with also covered some anisotropic filtering with that, because it's actually kind of related. In one specific thing that I just threw in there because I discovered, hey, this is related. Alright, yeah, going down to trilinear, though, I mean, yeah, that is not that smooth, but I'm reasonably happy with even, I mean, it still isn't too bad because, well, yeah, it's kind of like that. Alright, so 2x with texture filtering. Well, yeah, okay. It feels to me like the texture quality as well, though, where trilinear is acceptable, but there is a benefit to 2x. Now, I also feel like pointing out, though, that I've never seen anisotropic filtering really hamper performance in a game in my experience. I've just never noticed that. That could just be I've always been lucky with the combination of hardware for a game, so just maybe some old, like whenever I do the GTX 770 testing, which that could be quite a ways away, by the way. It's possible that that's old enough and this game is new enough that it would actually be having an impact. I don't know. Am I still at 2x though? I think I left it at that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's very acceptable to me. But may not be the case in another area. Alright, so I wouldn't be surprised if 8x is... I remember finding for Hitman 2 that 8x was like was very good. At that point, like 16x didn't seem a huge improvement over 8x. Here, I feel like it might actually be 4x. And part of that is just these textures have enough noise to them that it's not too bad. Alright. But hang on, can I really even notice it compared to 2x? Hang on. I did have radar and chill enabled. I just turned that off, because you should have heard the doo-doo of it going off. I just want to make sure that the performance is not being affected by that, so I'm having it be smooth right here. Alright, I am having a hard time spotting it. There, chill's back on. Okay, it's gonna stay at 4x because that's what the high preset is. Yeah. So it's anisotropic. The 2x anisotropic. So my note is basically that it might really be 4x for the maximum acceptable, or 8x in some areas. I have a feeling that 16x isn't going to be necessary in a lot of games, but that maybe at high resolutions, I don't know. But just the point being that the ground textures have noise to them, so you don't notice it so much. Alright. Yeah, let's... I didn't realize that normal is the high there. So off. You know, this isn't a good spot. I'm gonna... Well, hang on. Is it tab? Yeah, it is. I'm still having the whole issue of knowing where the heck stuff is. Yeah. Am I heading in the right way? Oops, if I... Yes, okay. And just the city is really a bad place because, I mean, yes, it should have shadows, but I don't feel like it's really hurting the flavor to it. And I know there's a better word. I'm blanking on it. You know what? Hang on. Where the hell was I? I think. Yes, right over here. Yeah, that's where I started. Alright, so I'll keep going this way. That is actually going to be a better place for looking at shadows, because there it matters. But I mean, this is largely an open spot. Sun's out. So, yeah, shadows being off doesn't quite jump out as much. Well, I mean, yes, it is obvious, but it doesn't hurt it visually. For the context of the area, it doesn't hurt it as bad as the location in the abandoned village. Although right here, this is kind of freaky, because this should be dark. Ooh, yeah, this. But see, this is what I mean, though. Here, contextually, it should be in shadow, and is even at low. But the city doesn't have to be. Yeah. Alright, then I'm actually going to go back, because that's the example that I wanted to see. You know, right here is just an area that it should have shadow, and so it's not as freaky. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Right now, the frame rate is dropping quite a bit. Alright, this is what I want to try to look for, though. And I can see that's not the hardest of shadows, but how does it... How's normal better? Yeah, this actually might work, because I've also got distance here. Okay, let's... I'll be honest, I don't see the difference. I'm not. Right here, I am not. I'm going to be checking other areas, though, so maybe those will be the case. We do want shadows on. I mean, low is the minimum acceptable. I wouldn't want it off. Except, like, in the city, that's fine. But you don't have controls like that. Low for the maximum as well. Let's see. It's better. Alright. There. Yeah, I mean, it's... Oh, that's... Okay. That's actually kind of interesting. I hadn't noticed that before. The database, I put that together off of the launcher, and apparently there's a different order to things there. Oh, there's high? And oh, why did it look like it went... I must have bumped something that I didn't think I did. But it still is. If I can't see the difference between low and normal, I'm not going to see it between high and ultra. Well, maybe I will, actually. Yeah, because that, you don't want to do that. Yeah, I am genuinely not seeing it. Now, it might be something else. You know, I need to be in a different area. I need a different environment. That might be the case, but I can see some change at the edges, but nothing that's worth it. I'm sorry. I genuinely am not seeing anything to make it worth it. Worth it. Alright. Ambient occlusion off. And boy, is it nice to see. I mean, how it describes it there. Because ambient occlusion is such a weird thing. And I was noticing that with Hitman 2. And also Just Cause 4, that it's like, where it is, in that game at least, the shadow system itself was taking on so much of it that the ambient occlusion wasn't so strongly necessary. Here, though, I mean, that is different. I mean, I wasn't adding shadows in here, like I was actually kind of hoping, but I mean, it was doing them here, so. It's like that. I like having that contrast there. I'm sorry, I really do think that having any amount on would be good. That, because this, it is, I want to say flat looking, which may sound weird, but it is very consistent in the brightness, it seems. Which I know doesn't make sense anyway, but once you do that, there is more variance there, and I do think it looks better. It's like this does visually seem better to me. I am unsure what the specific. I'm seeing the specific changes. I'm just not sure what precisely is causing them. I just want to get a drink of water. I mean, I've been enjoying HBAO Plus since Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist came out, which I'm pretty sure that was the first game with it. So I do like it, but and yeah, I think I will go with BTAO for the minimum and HBAO Plus for the maximum acceptable. See the difference from BTAO. Not always huge, but present, so you know it's reasonable to have it on. And for the minimum acceptable note, definitely want it on. It does help visually. Well, I'm going to change that language a little bit. It does help visually, gives more character, I guess the way to put it, to the environment. Can get away with it being off, but I would prefer it on. It's like, it's not crucial, but you know it's not there. If you know what it looks like with it on, you know what it's like to have it off. Alright. Back to BTAO. Alright, let's... I want to try to make sure I have a good... This might work. Ah, okay. Man, it's nice to have that description there of what this stuff is meant to do. I'm not really seeing it that much. My preference is always depth of field off, though. I want to say that right now. But I am not noticing the difference right now. So I'm going to trust what it says here. So, because of what it says, off for the minimum acceptable. I would say personal choice. So off is generally the minimum. And then for depth of field, then for the maximum, high would be the maximum. Reasoning given in game, high enables it in gameplay, while normal is, quote, mainly for cinematics. So basically, if you want it on in the game, you need it to be on high. Alright. Yeah, I mean, this is level of detail, is just, you know, how much does it show in detail. Oh wow, I didn't even realize there was a lowest option. I haven't looked through it. I'm doing that now. This honestly isn't that bad. Okay. So I had to look down because I'm like, wait a minute, is she wearing the right pants? Yeah, she is. It's just because how you can tell is all the way at her calves. The matching portion to the tunic. Alright. I mean, I can see it, but frankly, it's not wowing me. Like, you can do lowest. I don't feel bad about lowest here. I really don't. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit bad. Hang on. Let's see if it'll do it. Yeah. Yeah, that popping is... Is it gonna keep doing it? Hang on. Okay, yeah, so like that... Okay. So for that reason, no. Visually, it's not that bad. But you have to also look at the interaction. Oh man, that is still such a close... And that is distracting. Okay, yeah, that is... Normal is definitely the minimum here. Alright, normal. Transitions. Alright. Now to figure out the maximum, but what I said for why it's normal is because while lowest is visually acceptable, that transition is too obvious. And the same goes for low. It's... Yeah, it just... I don't think that's so healthy. And I was kind of starting to see it... well, I'm running out of that. I was kind of starting to see, like, right here is where we had that transition for normal. Like, I mean, it's a pretty fair distance for that. I'm gonna try to watch this wall for where... Okay, it looks like there was one right here for the tree, the shadow, the tree shadow. That is... I need to see it on normal. This might be one where normal is actually also acceptable. It is the maximum acceptable, that the high is not... Yeah, that transition is also pretty smooth. I mean, yeah, you can see it there, but I don't think that most people that would really jump out to them. And Ultra, I have a feeling, is gonna definitely not be... Oh, even out here, it's I saw a change. So even Ultra, you see that transition, but it's still, I don't think that Ultra is going to be the maximum acceptable. I think at most it's high. At most. Man. Yeah, I'm going to go with high. What the hell is the... Oh no, that's interesting. That is interesting. Okay. Hang on, need to... I'll explain what's interesting in a moment. Ultra is better, but I doubt most one knows it, and the audio has been talking about high. So what's interesting is even the highest preset for level of detail only goes up to high. Even though the highest option is Ultra. So... Oh wait, no. And high is what is for the high preset. So I do need that. Okay, and I'm just looking to see what is next. Wow. I'm going to start going in order of what's in the database, which Pure Hair is next. So I do find that interesting that Ultra isn't even on the highest preset, unless they've changed those presets since I made this table, which is back when the game was first out. So yeah, that is, I do think that's interesting. It might be telling that yeah, Ultra is technically better, but even we don't think that you really need to go with it. So, yeah. I mean, it's... I can see the difference, that normal does look better than low on her hair. Does it also... I mean, you can see it. Normal adds in so much more hair follicle, not follicles, strands. So it definitely does look better. I have a feeling it's going to be low as the minimum, except when normal is the maximum acceptable, because it does make an impact and it is visible there, but it's not. It's well, you can't turn it off, so low. Normal. Yeah, I mean, low is the lowest setting. So, yeah. Well, actually, that's option. Want to make sure I use the words how I want them to be used. Is mostly better than low. Also the highest option. Alright. Space contact shadows. Is that actually it? Hey, what? Oh, that... Okay. I was very confused. Why were things in a weird order? I know why now. Alright, okay, so that's actually helpful that that's off. So that it wasn't impacting the, thing. I am seeing small shadows being added. Like, there's one at her, like, right armpit. On her back, you can see a little there. Also, the tree immediately to her left, if you look at its base, There's a shadow that appears in some on the rocks to the lower left. Screen space contact shadows. Okay. I'm feeling like off is perfectly fine. Okay. See, that at least does make some sense to me, though. Because I did think, shouldn't there be shadows with the grass? And that is added with this. Okay. So, off is definitely the minimum. Yeah, I mean, it's not strictly needed. Perfectly acceptable. And I think just normal. I don't even know if high is gonna be necessary. I mean, I can't see a difference right now with it. So this will probably end up being... Yeah. I mean, if you look now at her bag, the knife in the bag, I mean, you can see there as well, and on her shoulder. It definitely is a good effect to have there. But it's... So yeah, normal is definitely... If you can turn it on, I would say turn it on, but it's not necessary, so it's not for the minimum. But yeah, so normal for the maximum, and good effect to have, turn on normal. If you can, cannot see impact of high. Alright, the next one in the table is motion blur. False is the minimum there. Personal choice can always be off. I'm probably being kind of dismissive of it. I know I don't like motion blur. I never have, and even when it's probably being done very well, I'll still have it off. Okay, no, this would drive me nuts. I can't do that. And it is exactly for the reason that I don't like having motion blur in games. Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if the frame rate were a bit better here, but the reason why I just want to make the note. I mean, it's, you know, why is it the maximum acceptable is to have it on? Because you can't turn it on. Anyway, the reason why I hate motion blur in games is because I don't always look at the center. So it's like when I'm turning the camera, I'm not necessarily looking at her. I'm looking around. And it's like I will focus on a point. In reality, if I'm turning my head but I'm focused on a point, I don't see motion blur there. Because it's not blurring, I'm focused there. So a game forcing that blurring, that's why I don't like it. It's like the same deal with depth of field, why I prefer to have that off. Because when I'm looking around, this is not the case. Because my eyes are adjusting. This is not present, so I prefer it being off and just going with the whole, well, if I'm focused on one part of the screen, I'm not seeing the other things around it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like that gives me that impact without it being forced by the game. It also kind of reminds me, when I saw Avatar in the theaters, I did actually see it in 3D. And that was horrible 3D in my opinion. It really was. I'm completely serious, because there were some scenes where the depth of field on the 3D, both in the Z for depth, which is how it would be here. Well, along with the level of detail. So it's like that's depth stuff there was that, but also on X and Y. So that's horizontal and vertical. So horizontal lines and vertical lines on the screen. So like there would be scenes where you're just looking at the forest in Pandora, and I wanted to look around because there's so much visual stuff here I want to look at, and I'd look and it would the image would be split because I wasn't supposed to be looking there, so the 3D wasn't right. That was my experience there, and I don't like that. And that's why for me it was a bad experience, because the whole, no, I'm looking there, I want that in focus. Same idea here. If I'm looking somewhere, I want it to be in focus, I want it to be sharp. I'm really going off on tangents, aren't I? I actually do not know if I'm even going to be able to spot any bloom. The effects that caused that... Oh, no, okay. So, good. That's why I looked up, because the sun could produce it. Explosions might as well. Fires could. Yeah, let's actually... There is a fire not too far away, isn't there? Yeah, I can just... Oh, let me head to that one. That's very nearby. Yeah, I need to be at a light source. An explosion could be such a light source, but don't have that right now. And hey, I should be getting to the reflections soon too. And yeah, bloom is the next one. Then screen space reflections, so that works out perfectly because I have the water right there. Oh wow, nothing. I would have expected. All right, so that's probably then gonna work out just like the similar to motion blur, but no. Yeah, false. I should really have this put down as it's true false in the launcher, so that's why when I was putting it together, that's what it looked like instead of on off. Yeah, so can true should have it on if you can. I just doubt that it's going to have a huge impact on performance. It might, but if you can, I would want that on. Why do I not have anything marked for that? What screen effects, volumetric lighting, tessellation? I don't have things put in here for the review settings. Maybe those were added later, because remember, as I said earlier, I did actually get to play the game prior to release. And sometimes that happens. Things get added. Like, I'm pretty sure SMA S2X was an option prior to release, and then they dropped that, which makes sense. That has that same multi-sampling that SMA 4X has, so it would make sense to drop that and just have the 4X, which already includes that, and the T2X as well. Alright, yeah, so screen space reflections. We do have... Huh, that's interesting. There's a seam in the water right above our head over there. Yeah, there are still reflections. So it's not like it's getting rid of everything there, but... Yeah, being on is better. It is more accurate. And there might be other places that screen space reflections would also be a thing. I just realized I don't have my bow. I guess because this is a non-hostile area, so... So when I turn off the reflections, their reflection should disappear. Oh no, it's still that... well, oh no, I guess you can see it underneath these guys. That is going to be like Bloom, in that on if you can, but honestly you can get away with it being off. can. It is good to have off because it isn't really necessary. That's kind of the idea to this stuff. Alright, yes, so, yep. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to spot any. And I am, well, I'll see what the description is. I'm not sure about. You know what? That might be it right there. Hang on. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think I know exactly what screen effects are, because I spotted one. Yep, even right there. Right above the description. Here. Above additional on reflections, there's a spec. Because I'm kicking up water as I'm walking through, so it's hitting the screen, the virtual camera. Now it's gone, back and gone. Okay. So I still need to find lens flares, but screen effects... That's actually the next one. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna do that. Change it to... I'm gonna go through and change it from false and true to on and off everywhere. Don't get on. To have on does make an impact. Alright. Yeah, do that. Okay. So yeah, now that I see what those are, yeah, that is purely personal choice. And in fact, I want to make sure I have that note. Purely personal choice. I also doubt that that's even something that would hit performance much. I really do doubt it. Maybe it will. It won't on a Vega 64 though. Not at this resolution, at least. So yeah, it's yeah. Oh really? Oh, okay. That's not right. There. I just realized I need to make a change. I have. Oh no. So looking at the wrong thing. Never mind. Yeah. Every single preset has screen effects turned on. Same with lens flare. Volumetric lighting and tessellation don't at the lowest though. So yeah, that does not surprise me though, that those effects, because they should be cheap, but they also shouldn't really make a difference. Okay, shouldn't make too huge a difference to the appearance. To the performance. I'm just cleaning up all the trues to on now. I also have to do that with the falses to off. Okay. Alright, there. That just makes it easier for writing them. Alright, lens flares. I need to find one. Oh, I had one right there. I might need to turn off the screen effects. See, the thing is, that's the bloom. It's not the... Maybe the campfire? I mean, true, by virtue of the fact that I need to find them, that could tell you right there that it's really not that big a deal. That you really could get away without it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna have it be the same as the screen effects purely personal choice. Don't need it, but nice to have. Well, nice to have on, unsure of impact. Which, wait a minute, I did that. That's right. When I was reviewing the game, I couldn't record it, but I was actually going through and making notes like this. I wonder where I put those notes. But that some of these, it's like, I don't know what the impact is. Because I remember saying that, and even, like, I was in a different part of the city, but I was in the hidden city for it even. Alright, the volumetric lighting, that should actually, yeah, that right there, you can see that. That's actually interesting how it fades in and out. I'm not looking at performance, remember that. I am not looking at the performance for these. This is purely visual. When I do the performance analysis stuff and the whole try and target 60 FPS, that's when that will come into play. Because then I will be messing around with options to try to get a certain performance level. This might also be something that I need to be in other locations just to really see it, though. I'm gonna put it down as I'm literally copying and pasting what I have for screen effects. It's nice to have, does make an impact, but if you need it off, you can't have it off. At least for this location. Alright, where was it? Here it is. I mean, that, yeah, you can see that difference there. But does it detract? I mean, there's a lot of stuff here that actually could have been. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was tessellated, like the rocks here, but like even this. I mean, that's probably just mostly normal mapping, but or just baked into the textures. But that's actually like the rock is what I'm looking at. But no, not even that's tessellated. I'm only seeing it on the ground, really. Just kind of making me think it's optional. It's gonna be like screen effects, I feel. Because looking at this, it's I have it off now, I think. Yeah, it's screenshot difference, I guess would be a way to put it. It's like, if you were looking at screenshots, you'd notice. But otherwise, I don't think in gameplay you would. And that's what matters. Alright. Yeah. Shot difference. Notice it. Screenshots. Doubt you'll notice it in gameplay. And that's the whole idea to some of this, is would you even notice it in gameplay? And I don't think the tessellation is something you would notice. Alright, so that is back to on. Alright, that is the high preset here, except for motion blur being off. I'm not going to test motion blur again. I will test level of detail. I won't test depth. Some of these I won't repeat. Lens flares, screen effects, I'm not going to bother with those. Just pure hair I probably also don't need to bother with in another location. Because that's not going to change. That is her head. It's like, her head doesn't change in other locations. But I'm probably all of the yes, no, the on-offs, I don't need to retest, but this is how I'm going to do it. Alright, okay. Fast travel? Trying to remember. I think that's the one. No. Might be this one. Lane wreckage. Yeah, I think it is actually this one then. Nope, come on. That other article that I mentioned, I looked in 3 places with that. I'm going to try to use the same 3 places. The abandoned village was one, which, yes, I avoided that. I was in Hidden City for that. Except for the shadows. That's why I spawned in. That's why I was going to test with shadows off. Pretty sure this was it. Like, it's literally the first campsite you have past the prologue. Yes, this is it. And then the last one is the last place I'm gonna check. Oh crap, what is it called? No. Peach destroyed. I think it would be, no, sorry, it isn't that. It's not that. I don't think it was, no, it's not Kwarkyaku. Where was it? It's outside the bar. Is that over here? Yeah. Yes, sorry, that is Kwarkyaku. I was forgetting which one Kwarkyaku is. Yeah, so it would be this. This is actually the next place I'm gonna go. Okay. It's been a while, I'm sorry. Alright. Alright, so I actually first want to do Tessellation. I'm gonna do this in a different order. Oh wow, I'm not even nosing on the ground. Which in ways good. Alright. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. That doesn't surprise me. I don't know what to expect for Lens Flare. I mean, that might be something that... Does it say anything? Keep missing. There we go. Yeah, I'm not seeing that. Oh, damn. Holy crap. I hear something. That's a warthog, I think. I don't think it's a leopard or jaguar. But, wow. Holy crap, that makes a difference. That super makes a difference here. Yeah, there's that warthog. You know, that's volumetric, definitely. Over there as well. Oh yeah. Ooh. Ooh. I'm gonna leave that at off as the minimum, but it is not a personal choice. That is not at all personal choice. But really has an impact on. Does make an impact. Turn on if can. I mean, that really is a, if your computer can handle it, have it on. It's not necessary, but wow. I mean, no, I'm changing my mind. It has changed my mind. Yep. That is minimum acceptable is on. I'm sorry, but that because it's not just how it looks visually. It's not just that, but like here. I mean, you turn this off. I actually want this alignment here. And it is... Where is it? Here it is. I mean, that is massive, that difference there. That is almost like if you turn shadows off, to me. I mean, just that level of visual impact. Is it necessary? No, but the quality impact is so significant for this specific place, yes. So maybe when I look at the next one, I'll be like, nah, it can be off, but that has such an impact that right now I've bumped it up to on as the minimum. Okay. That doesn't surprise me. Oh no, that's interesting. I turn it off and I'm seeing... Oh, there's, by this arrow, even if you can't see the cursor, you see the highlight on the left, on that arrow to go down on level of detail. And it's actually changing a little bit there. I'm still... I still have that off. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so that's the bloom. That's probably still gonna be... You can have that off if you want. That does have visual impact though. But I don't... It is impacting the character, but I'm still going to... Oh, hang on. Did I see a lens flare? I might have seen a lens flare. Turn that off. It might have also just been a screen effect for the water. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to change that as well. Lens flare. Maximum acceptable? Off. Honestly, can't tell you the difference. Maybe it's present in cinematics. Yeah. So I would not recommend having that on then. As far as the concepts here of minimum and maximum acceptable qualities, that because I cannot tell you what the difference is between off and on, it being off is actually the maximum acceptable, because that's the whole idea to the maximum acceptable. Is at what point is it no longer giving you a return on the visual quality? I'm not seeing any return on visual quality, it's off. That is the reason. I turned balloon back on. I'm surprised I'm not seeing any changes with tessellation here. How does this look? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's not that bad though. Being off. Hang on. I'm just a little curious. So right now, that's where it's at. Okay, that's not too surprising. Yeah, that is not surprising at all. None of off BTAO and HBAO plus all. Right here, the performance is no different. This may not be a good example. I just was curious and looking at the frame counter. I mean, I'm not really even seeing. I see it on her a little bit, but yeah. I mean, hey, wait. I see some change going from high to ultra. I do. I really do. I would not be surprised if it doesn't survive the video compression, though. I really wouldn't. So that's gonna stay at normal. Texture quality, I already figured normal, and the reasons why I don't need to test that again. Texture filtering, I will test some more though. I want to do the. Okay. Oh wow, that makes me want to have it on, especially since that is suggesting that the sun is up there when it's back there. Wow, that's a hell of a change there. Do you find it interesting how it fades, sort of like the volumetric lighting did? Just that's how the lighting's being handled here. Oh, that's even the thing I'm clicked on. Impact, though. I'm not going to change it from the minimum acceptable to on. It's still going to be off. Because that is much more, that's a much smaller impact than the volumetric lighting was right here. I just want to make a note that it can have significant impact. Bloom is gonna be that. I want to look at, that's right, the texture filtering. Alright, I need to find a spot that it's even gonna... this game is has a lot of noisy textures. What the heck is going on there? That doesn't... No, that's still popping right there. What the heck? That is really close. That's why that doesn't make so much sense to me. And that text filtering wouldn't have any impact there. Wow. That's... Wow. Wow. I mean, just wow. Okay. I genuinely was not would you be quiet? I genuinely was not expecting to see a level of detail difference like that. Wow. That is... What do I have for level of detail? Normal. Okay. Just making the note that normal in one location, if the transition point is too close for those shadows, because that, wow, that was obvious. That was very obvious. Alright. So let's get back to trying to find... Anyway, I mean, there's also just enough shadows here. Okay, right here, because what's right above our head? That is actually a spot that would be perfect for this texture filtering. Okay, and I see more detail. I am spotting some detail that I'm fairly certain. I'm going to go right back to trilinear. Yes. Oh, and I do see the change. Okay. From here. I do see it. I do see it. And 2x also has... I don't know if you could do a screenshot comparison between 2x and 16x here and actually notice it. But from trilinear to 2x, you do notice it. It's gonna stand how it is in my notes. It is going to stay as that. Yeah. Because some of these details would definitely missing a trilinear, but it so 2x is good to have there, but I cannot say that it's worth going above it. I cannot say it. Alright, let's get to Kwakyaku. I'm really hoping I'm pronouncing it correctly. I think I am. I think that's how they pronounce it in the game. And that's the only reference I have. I've not heard that name of a city previously, so... Or in any other context. Hang on, I also... While this is loading. An hour and a half I'm at, roughly. Fun. Yeah. You know, and I almost forgot, because I noticed how performance seemed less with, when I was in the Hidden City, and also right here it's lower. I'm in DirectX 11, but when I reviewed it, I was in DirectX 12, so it might be that that's having an impact, that the API is having that impact. When I do the performance analysis stuff, I will be trying out both. Okay, you know what? This is actually perfect. This is where it would be possible to notice. Sorry, it looked like... Okay, it's the bench with the guy sitting on it over there. That's... I'm noticing some pop in there, but the floor is fine. The floor is fine. But this is as good an example as I'm going to find, I think, for seeing the impact. But I'm barely seeing it. I mean, the wood doesn't have that great detail on it to make it visible. Not that it isn't detailed. It is detailed. It isn't gonna stand out. So yeah, that will stay as it is. No change in pinning there. Wow. How do I have it stated? Holy crap! I need to check what I have as minimum. Okay, good. I have BTAO as minimum, so it being enabled is minimum, and that is exactly true. I forgot to check shadow quality when I was over there. Oh wait, no, maybe I did check it. It's... Yeah, I'm not seeing anything to make it worth going above low. Why did I even touch that one? Well, I'm in shadow, and that... Yeah. Alright. That doesn't surprise me. Alright. Let's go somewhere else for now. Yeah, let's... Whoa, why did that...
Back at the house.
It looked like there's a little bit of texture popping right here.
Maybe we can use our hands, you know? Like paddles.
That's... Huh. That actually... Level of detail would help because of where the transition would be, but this... The textures right here for the boards that are roughly aligned with the top of her head. And these textures don't look the same. Like, that they do look noticeably different. Although, I guess maybe it's also a geometry or some lighting map is loading that's changing things. This right here, this metal sheet, is something I talk about in the other thing. The other article. I'm a little curious about something with it, though. Okay. I could see that being tessellated instead of something else, but there might be other means of getting that. Alright, no, volumetric lighting will be up further. Screen space reflect... Let me see it off. Because that... Well, okay, no, that is actually kind of bad, because there's no way that I'd be seeing that reflection. Like, this is much more accurate. Yeah, that's gonna be like that, though. How we currently have it, where it's still minimum acceptable is off, but it can have a noticeable impact. I don't remember if I have it on or off right now. I do have it on. Okay. Let's try to find some volumetric lighting. There's some back there. It's also like a temple up over there that I think might also, but let's, so we got this, let's look at this right now. Yeah. Didn't realize I forgot to turn chill back on. But I actually do want it off for now. I'm more curious how big an impact. Okay, at least in the menu right here, it's not having an impact. So come out, and it is being rendered. So yeah, 67, 68 with it off. .68, 67 with it on. I mean, that is one thing that is interesting, is that there's some effects that volumetric lighting typically is not easy to do. There, chill's back on. But man, it seems like sometimes you can turn it on. It's just not going to have that huge an impact. Screen space reflections, it is how it is still. I'm not changing that. It was back here, I was thinking. Which actually, you know, this effect right here is volumetric. I mean, this is character stuff, though. Like, character of the setting. That's what I mean.
Some stuff to trade if you're looking.
This is... Oh, this is actually where I was thinking I might... Hang on, wait, there you are. There. I really wanted to kill it and get that poison. Okay. Okay, a lot of the lighting back there is actually volumetric, I think. Let's confirm. Yeah. I think I'm gonna change minimum back to off. Because this... I mean, even right here, there is a certain haze in there. Okay, to make it a little easier on me, I'm gonna do that, but... I mean, that definitely has an impact, but... Oh man, yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to... That example at the plane wreckage was just extreme. Because this is really not that bad with it off. I don't see any issue with it being off here. Ooh, more poison. There's a lot of good shadows here. So let me look at some of this again. Oh yeah. That is a have it on if you can. Holy crap, oh my god. Please have shadows turned on. Yeah, but at a major loss to visual fidelity, yeah. Completely turning off shadows significantly improves performance on systems with slow CPUs and GPUs, that's what it says right there, but at a major loss to visual fidelity. Below or barely at the minimum hardware requirements for the game, yeah. In that fidelity relating to the accuracy of the scene, yeah, that is completely inaccurate and is actually freaky to me, because it is just, I'm so used to the game with shadows, to have that off is just like, whoa, what the hell's going on? But it's still, I cannot tell you what the difference is from low to normal. I was like, I can spot some, but it's screenshot differences. That's how I'm gonna call that. I mean, here, let me even do that. Yeah, I cannot tell you what it is there. I'm also not seeing any difference there. Back to normal here. Yeah, some, but normal's completely acceptable. Low, and low is stars. It was that movement, it was that interaction stuff. Yeah, that's not surprising. Well, yeah. That shouldn't be here. That being nothing isn't surprising. Yeah, really good view of... Wow, she's losing her hair. That's what it looks like. Yeah, leave that off. I mean, yeah, off is playable. Off is acceptable. Not surprising that those don't have an impact. so back to off that. Excellence flares. I'm just looking through these options here. I'm looking through them specifically in the table, which is why you don't hear the game sounds, because I'm alt-tabbed and it mutes itself then. Alright, I'm gonna try again here. And the angles aren't quite enough to really make... Okay, I am seeing it a little bit. Where that arrow is, it's more in line with where tessellation is, like the end of the orange highlight. You can see well, I can see a small change there, but it is minor. The video compression might be destroying it. But yeah, I would just 2x is fine to me. So that means that what do I have down for tessellation actually? Yeah, the minimum is off for that. Whoa. I need to see that. I mean, just because I was right next to it, that jumped out. Yeah, further away, it's not so bad. Okay, the reason visually there's a transition there, so it like pops it out and then brings things back in when I go on. Well, it had been. But okay, so that was just because of how close I was. That stood out so much. But you can do that off if you want. Bloom, that's more or less a personal choice. Screen space reflections have an impact, but you don't... I mean, you actually can't even see it here, but it's not so strongly needed. Off, and then these can definitely go off. So this is, to me, the minimum acceptable. That this is... Sorry, I wasn't sure if I still had chill on. This is definitely, yeah. Would be nice if the transition there was a bit better, but that's not too bad. And this, to me, this still looks pretty good. Maybe not as good as max settings, but I'd say that if you can... Oh, and don't forget, I also do have... Okay, let's pull that down. Yeah, let's actually... Let me show it with it off. I mean, you can definitely see some aliasing here, but this is acceptable still. I thought that would lock... Well, I guess it got far enough away. Oh, yeah, and over there it's not so good. But here, let me go to SMAA, because that is the minimum if you want to have it... if you want to have anti-aliasing on at all. So yeah, this would be the minimum acceptable overall. I'm pretty happy with it. Can it look better? Yes, but is anyone gonna say that this looks bad? I genuinely hope not. I don't think that this looks bad at all. I think this looks perfectly good. And I mean, you have plenty of room to turn things up. You really do. Alright, so coming back, I want to go through what the maximum acceptable is. Texture quality go. Okay, so that's the... Oh, yeah, that's there. Yes, and nope, it didn't. There. That's right. Okay, good. Texture quality to high. Texture filtering still 2x because there's enough noise to it itself sorry, not to the filtering, to the textures that once you have the anisotropic filtering on there to make up for what trilinear loses, it's good. Shadow quality still at low because I honestly am not seeing the difference. Did I say? Yeah, because I was noticing something for HBAO. With that, depth of field, I'm leaving it off because that's just my preference. Level of detail. Wait, where is that? I did bump that up to high. Okay. Oh yeah, there's an impact there, but I don't think it's gonna be too bad. On, off for me. On. I think normal with that. I'll check. Yeah, for the screen space, even for the context shadows, even though you can go to high, I think that this is fine. So this is, and there's still some room you can go up, but this is maximum acceptable. That past this, I'm not sure if you're really getting enough out of it to be worth it. Yeah. So that's alright. This took a lot longer than I think I was expecting it to, but that's where I am. I'm gonna go back to a campsite, and I'm not gonna bother with the plane wreckage, but I will go back to the hidden city. I will go back there so we can see that. Yep, run right here. I do kind of remember the layout of this area. Alright. So hidden city, that's... I think... there. Yeah. This is where I want to be. So I'll leave it at maximum acceptable, look around, I'll pop it down to minimum acceptable, and we can see. But I think that the difference is present, but it's acceptable. It's definitely acceptable. And of course, if you have a high resolution display, you may want to, turn some things up, because at that, it may be more noticeable than this is. Than it is on my display. Well, no, I'll keep going around before I change things. No, actually, hang on. Don't want to run. Yeah. Where was I going with that? Oh, and also if you have, hey, RX Vegas 64, like what I have, can definitely go higher. It's comfortable doing that. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the lower frame rate here and in Quark Yaku is actually because of DirectX 11 versus 12. I don't know. I just wouldn't be surprised because there's a lot of people here, so that could mean more CPU calls, which, well, DirectX 12 should handle better. Actually, I don't think you yell at me if I go in here. Yeah. It's like right here being so bad. Like, yeah, that could be DirectX. That could be CPU related, so DirectX 12 may be happier. Also, I think when I reviewed it, I may have... I don't remember, I'd have to look. I may still have had the overclock. My CPU is still overclocked, but I used to overclock it higher. But I've pulled it back for video purposes, video recording and processing stuff. Yeah, that... I don't think that this is something most people would complain about, though. It would be nice if the transition there was a better blend, but... yeah, alright, so normal, that's there. Normal. I don't remember what yeah. Tessellation for minimal is off. Off. Screen space reflections off. That off. Low. Lens flare and screen effects are fully personal choice. But still, looking around with this, you really gonna tell me this is bad? Okay, that would have been nice. Okay, you know what? Because this is nice detailed shadows. Yeah, that... it honestly looks like it's just being blurred. So it does address some of the jagginess to the to the shadows, but I still feel like low is fine. That you're not missing much by popping it up to normal. Well, yeah, by being at low compared to normal. Yeah, let me do it here. So I've got the transition between the qualities. Yeah, I mean, and ultra just blows it even more. I do not think that you need to go even to normal with shadow quality. But okay, I am going to change maximum acceptable to normal because I do now see it. And this is a good example. So found a good example. Normal adds some blurring, which is nice, but not strictly necessary. Ultra adds even more, but cannot spot benefit of high to normal. Okay. Alright, so yeah, that's how it is. Alright, so whenever this performance analysis article comes out, this video will be included, and the tables that I've been working on will be in the article, and I'm also planning to have them available somewhere else separately. But yeah, that's how that is. I feel like just running around a little bit more. So yeah, if you look at this or look at the article, I hope you find it somehow helpful. I think I will see it more helpful myself. That I think it'll be more worth doing this once I am going through the different hardware, because yeah, Vega 64 is roughly equivalent to the 1080. And I do have one of those, but I should be able to expect basically same stuff out of that. But I also have a 1070, which will be pretty close, so I'm not I'm running at basically 1080p, so it's not going to be that huge a difference. 980, maybe some differences there. GTX 770, almost certainly some differences there for performance and what I can expect. So yeah, maybe when I'm on that, it'll be like, okay, yes, now I'm confirming why minimum acceptable is actually important to do. But I do still think it's just interesting as an experiment. Alright, so with that, though, here, I will show you, though, what I'm going to go with. Like that on. I honestly do like having the pure hair on. I do notice. I'm going to leave lens flare and the other thing off. You know what? No, I'm going to go with high and level detail. Ultra is nice, and there is a part of me that does want to push to it, but nah. Shadow quality stays at low. Texture quality at normal. Texture filtering that. But yeah, this I think is what I will run at, because I know I have the performance to do it. But I'm not going to go to maximum because I don't think I need it. I don't think I need it. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a new monitor at some point that'll be like, no, you need it. It could happen. Alright. Actually, hang on. I want to save it back in the other location. Yeah, I'll just go this way. I mean, I could hit the campfire, or I could just do this. Yeah, and I was also, if you just noticed some stutter there, I have been noticing that I don't know yet, but I really would not be surprised if that is a DirectX 11, DirectX 12 kind of thing. That it's CPU related. But I do also remember that Hidden City was hitting performance harder than many other areas. Like here, this won't be a bad area. So yeah, that's just the case with a lot of games, really. Okay. Alright. save it. Yeah, September 13th, 2018. I will admit, this is January 2019. It's been a while. It has been a while. You know what? Take it back and put in the other location, just for the fun of it. All right. Just gonna end at the home screen. Assuming it gets me there. I don't know why it's been behaving like it's loading slow. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna end. Right here. Perfect. And I'm losing my train of thought. Oh yeah, that's right. Just because it came to mind, I will say again, the key was provided for when I did the review of this. Thank you very much, Square Enix, for that. It was provided by Square Enix. I should also point that out. It'll be in the description, though. So, yeah, thank you again for that. And I don't know when. This is time travel right now, though. I don't know when I'm going to get to the performance analysis, but you're going to see this with the performance analysis. It's just, that's still in the future for me. I don't know strictly when I'll do it, because I have other things I do need to get done. I just wanted to do this tonight. So, see you next time. I don't have a background. I don't want it to be black, so I'm going to stop it now. Otherwise I would. I don't know why I'm even bothering saying that. See you next time.